has been implemented. We're still working out the kinks on that. But the care for veterans who choose to go and seek care within the VA, we need to be able to make sure that it's being provided in a high quality and timely fashion.
Can we
Thank you.
possibly look at property at Barbara Point for the VA facilities?
One second.
Hello, I'm Deborah Bondupson, and I'm a board member of Parents for Public Schools Hawaii. And I have two questions. One is about education. I know you know that Hawaii is in a more fragile position with education than any state, given the heavy reliance on private schools that we have. And I want to know what your position will be on HR 610 that's just been brought forward with the potential damage to special education and the potential of vouchers taking money away from the public schools that our kids need. I have another question after that, but if you answer that first.
I haven't read that bill yet. I've seen a few stories written about it, so I want to read it, but generally I can tell you I'm proud to have earned the support of our HSTA as well as the National Education Association and teachers for my commitment to public education, to our kids and to our teachers, and making sure that at the state level and the federal level we are providing both support and resources as well as empowering them to be able to do their jobs. There was in the last major education authorization bill that we passed in Congress, it was quite incredible to see how it passed with bipartisan support. It was supported by our HSTA because it took away some of the layers of onerous requirements from the federal government, providing more flexibility to the teachers in our schools to be able to provide that quality education. And that is the direction that we need to go, not taking away resources from our public schools, teachers, and education.
We all have been working hard on ESSA and with the governor's task force and others, and it's critically important, but we are right at the very bottom of the United States in teacher turnover because we can't pay our teachers enough. And they, as a result, have to work 2 and 3 jobs and leave. We had over 500 classrooms with no teacher for the past year. This issue persists, and it will get far worse if something like 610 passes, and if any money is pulled out of the public schools for vouchers, given the drift that we have to private education in Hawaii. My second issue is access. Over the last weeks, many groups that I've been associated with and meeting with have been very distressed by your trip to Syria. I've been on the electronic town hall you had. I went to Kailua. Other people have gone to your office. People have been trying to find out, what is this? And what does she think about Assad? What about the murders of children by Assad? Can we as a country hold back and not protect the people who are brutalized? So my question is not to make accusations towards you. It's to ask, what commitment could you make to us so that we can actually get valuable information? Nothing can that keeps us not able to ask questions. What's on your website is not enough. And the meeting at noon in Kailua, without you there, the people can't ask questions. Can you make a commitment to hold meetings in places where they have mics and indoor audio so that we can hear you and you can hear us? And they can be in the evening so that working people can go to them? Because it's critical right now. We are getting active, and part of how we're going to take this back from the forces of Trump and Bannon is by all of us being active. But we can't be intelligently active unless we really get deeper information from you.
Thank you.
Next week, time your next town hall.
Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate your passion for education and your commitment and the issues that you've raised. Yes, I'm going to continue doing what we have been doing prior to this last election in November, in continuing this type of outreach to our communities when I am not physically in Hawaii. Ways that we do that is through telephone town halls, online town halls, and with my staff regularly going to different parts of the community to conduct casework outreach and to be available for folks where they are. When I am here, I spend all of my time doing district work, visiting the communities in different islands, conducting what we call Congress on Your Corners that allow for folks to be able to come and talk story. We have town hall type meetings planned for the next district work period, as we have in the past, focused on specific issue areas so that people can come and talk about and learn about specific issues that are facing our community here. I'm really proud of the constituent outreach that my team and I do. We spend not very much time in the office and a whole lot of time out in the community making available to people. Thank you. Thank you. Aloha.
Congresswoman Gabbard, thank you so much for taking my question, and thank you for your time today. My name is Hui and I'm one of your constituents. My husband is active duty Marine Corps, and as a family we've sacrificed a lot for our country.
Thank you for your service, all of you.
Thank you. Trump's potential ties to Russia worry me deeply. Will you call for a special independent prosecutor?
Yes.
I think the first thing that needs to happen is investigation, so that any follow-on action that occurs after that, whether it be a prosecutor or some other thing, is happening based on facts and information.
Will that investigation be open and transparent?
That's what we're calling for. That is exactly what we're calling for.
Thank you. Will you ask Jeff Sessions to recuse himself?
Yes.
From the investigation?
Yes.
I don't see why not. I'm not in the Senate, so that's not something that that we have jurisdiction over, but
Understood, but you are
objective.
willing to...
It needs to be objective, yes.
Yes. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, so
Hi.
I'm Emily Henricks. I go to St. Andrews Prairie. I'm actually doing a project about women in politics. So I wanted to ask you a question. Noting the changes in legislation within the last 10 years, how do you believe women are able to lead at the highest level of local, state, and federal level of government?
Thank you. That's a good question. By getting involved. I mean, the answer isn't very complicated or sophisticated, but it's by getting involved. And you're doing that by being here today and by focusing on this in your project at school. There are studies that show that women, I believe women have to be asked 6 or 7 times before they agree to step forward and run for office, where the same is not true for their male counterparts. I think we're starting to see a change in that, where women across the country are wanting to get involved because they're interested in, and they care about what's happening in their community, and recognizing there's not some magic formula that makes someone else more qualified than them. So you're doing it already, and it's a matter of finding that issue or those issues that you're interested in and finding ways to get involved. And there are lots of ways to do that, whether it means running for office at any level or getting involved in activism and organizing and impacting policy, whether it be at the local, the state, or the national level. And now we're seeing in recent years, more than when I first ran for office, there are a lot of organizations in place that can help you and give you some training and give you some tools and walk you through exactly how to do that. So I think it's clear that more needs to be done. Women are not as represented in government as they are in the population. But my hope and what I'm seeing is that the trend is moving in a positive direction. Thank you. Good question. Good luck with your project.
My greatest concern and fear, and I don't think I'm the only one who has brought this up, is the psychological ability of our president to run this country. I want to know, I don't feel safe here if he's not capable. And is an investigation being held?
What type of investigation?
Psychiatric evaluation.
Not that I'm aware of.
I would request that as a citizen of the United States. I have read over and over and over on Facebook that psychiatrists have a lot of terms for our president. And it scares me if this man is not mentally qualified. I'm sure he's a brilliant businessman, but he may not be mature enough to run this country.
you know, elections have consequences. And, you know, I think where our energy needs to be focused is on fighting policies that are destructive to our country and pushing forward and collaborating on policies that actually help and serve people. And as we just talked about, when there are issues that people care about, it's organizing around that, whether it be in a political sense or in a substantive sense, to bring about the kinds of change that we need to see. Thank you.
Hi. Two of the first executive orders that Trump signed had to do with conflict of interest legislation, the Dodd-Frank, and also gutting the corruption part of requiring mining companies, oil and gas companies, actually saying how much money they're giving to foreign countries, and it really opens the floodgates to corruption. What are you going to do to try to, let's say, undo or keep a watch on these? Because this is how anonymous corporations, the property values in Hawaii goes up because there are cash payments, and this is where people come to park their money. And so it has a big impact on the property values, especially on the people.
Thank you. That's an important connection to make with the local impact there. You know, there have been a number of different executive orders that have had direct and indirect implications for us here and obviously in the country. And with each of them, we're looking at seeing how we can impact the outcomes of those. You mentioned the Dodd-Frank. This is something that I've been working on for a long time. We've introduced bipartisan legislation to reinstate Glass-Steagall. You know, the issue, I'm very concerned with the fact that they're talking about trying to, you know, weaken Dodd-Frank, if not get rid of it altogether, given the fact that in many ways Dodd-Frank didn't go far enough. But we're, you know, you bring up a good point, and we'll look into that that specific one you're talking about, the minerals, further. It speaks to the lack of transparency issue, though, that we've talked about over and over again, that we should have this information. Thank you.
One quick note, everyone. It's 4:20. I know there's a line.